Pranams to all. I welcome all of you to this class of Veda Samskruti Samiti, who is conducting certificated course in Sanatan Dharma. VSS is conducting this course in association with Vishwa Yoga Vidyapeeth. After having a glimpse of Vedas, Vedangas, Vedantas, and Bhagavad Gita, etc., now we have come to Itihasas, and today we'll have a lecture on the probably one of the most popular Itihasam Ramayanam. We have with us today a distinguished person, Sri Reyuru Ananta Padmanabha Garu. Babu Garu will introduce about him later. We'll start the day with salutations to our motherland by singing Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malayaj Sitalam, Sasya Shamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Shubhrajyotsna pulakitayaminim Phullakusumita drumadala shobhinim Suhasinim Sumadhura bhashinim Sukadam varadam mataram Vande Mataram Vande Mataram. Now they have prayer by Sri Shankari Narayananji.
1 minute meditation followed by 3 times Om. Om. Om Ganana Tva Ganapati-gum Havamahe Kavin Kavinamupamashravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashtrunvanutibhisida Sadanam. Om Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vitrayavatu. Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Gurureva Gatir Gurumeva Bhaje Gurunaiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave Na Guru Paramam Shishuraspi Guroho Matirasti Guru Mam Pahi Guru Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalasfatikakritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।
Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Thank you, Madam Shankarnarayan, for the nice pratana. Now I request Colonel Babu Garu to introduce the guest speaker.
ధన్యవాదములండి. Thank you for the opportunity. It is my privilege and pleasure and opportunity to get an opportunity to introduce Dr. Revuri Ananta Padmanabha Rao Garu, the Additional Director General, Doordarshan, retired, and also he stays in Hyderabad. He got around, in fact, to introduce him in detail, it takes a lot of time. Not this 1.5 hours is sufficient. We all know him. We have heard him many times on All India Radio, Doordarshan. So I will briefly explain the highlights only. We have been, hearing him. Today we are going to see him also and then hear him directly. He got around 45 years of media, senior administrator in All India Radio and Doordarshan, and author of more than 100 books in literature, Telugu and English, and multifaceted personality. Astavadhani. Education-wise, many qualifications. MA Gold Medalist from SV University in 1967, PhD from SV University, PG Diploma in Journalism, and also Public Relations, is a gold medalist and also several medalist in 83, and a diploma in astrology. So is a multifaceted activity. Besides that, he will be it will be very interesting to know the experience he has in many fields, like the principal of Narayana IAS Academy and a coordinator of SV Bhakti Channel Tirupati, coordinator of TTD Tirupati, additional DG Doordarshan, of course I told you, and director of program DG AIR in New Delhi, and he served in Kadapa also, Hyderabad and Vijayawada, and he has been teaching in a degree college after his degree till he got his after his postgraduate degree until he got his PhD. And his publications are, he got more than 1,000 articles in various leading newspapers, and already told you he got more than 100 books. He got many awards. I will not venture to start telling you about it because it's a long list. So he got all possible awards, and he's a guest faculty in many institutions, and including uh, AP Open University, Usmania University, University of Hyderabad, Padmanabha University, Academic Staff College, Jamia Millia University, IGNOU, Tirupati, all possible. In fact, wherever possible, people have taken him as a faculty. And it is our privilege to have him as a faculty in Veda Samskruti Samiti, and for this course has been teaching us for last right from the inception of these courses, first batch. Now seventh batch is going on, and two batches of advanced course and two batches of Telugu course. And his association with universities is again a big list. SV University and Nagarjuna University, Vikram Simhapuri University, like that, again a big list. Is in advisory committees of UPSC New Delhi, and is a regional worker education in many other committees. He's also a member of expert committees in UGC committee and AP State Council of Higher Education, etc. And his fellowships, again, is senior fellow, Department of Culture, New Delhi. And like that, he has many again. He's a life member of IPA, Program Staff Association, ASCI, and BES. And is a research, again, is another angle of Padmanabha Rao garu. Yeah. He's guided research, he done a lot of research, and he guided people with MPhil, PhDs, and he's a commentator. Most important thing is you have been hearing him All India Radio for various Brahmotsamas in Bhadrachalam, Srisailam, and Tirupati. Today you will be, in fact, having interaction directly. That is a big event for all of us. And he visited many foreign countries, say Germany, UK, USA, Dubai, for various official purposes. And titles and honors are, Asthana Vidwan and Swarna Kankanam, like that. He got again a big list of it. And he had held many posts, including honorary president of Satya Sahiti Hyderabad, expert in civil coaching. The other angle of Padmanabha Rao garu is he's a founder principal of Narayana IAS Academy, and he has been guiding people in civil examinations for after his retirement, I think, or even before. And like this, if I need to give him time to talk to you also. So with this, I will request him to start the webinar. And if you want to meet him, he is in Hyderabad at Moti Nagar Krupa Residency. You can contact him. Thank you so much for sparing your time, sir, and making it convenient to log in and come and talk to us. Thank you so much. I request you to start the webinar, please.
Sabhai Namaha. Vagadha Samprukta Vagadha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Vaidehi Sahitam Suradrumatale Aime Mahamandape Madhye Pushpakamasane Manimaye Virasane Samsthitam Agre Vachayati Prabhanjanasute Tattvam Munibhyah Param Vyakhyatam Bharatadibhih Parivrutam Ramam Bhaje Shyamalam Manojabam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayudha Mukyam Sriramadutam Sirasa Namami Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Kartamastakanjalim Bashpavari Paripurnalochanam Marutim Namata Rakshasantakam. I am glad to meet all of you on this auspicious day of Dhanurmasa, first day. In fact, my wife has already completed the Dhanurmasa Puja by this time, and the Naivedyam also was given. Today, Venkatnarayana was mentioning about Vande Mataram in the beginning, and the government of Modi ji has dug out Bankim Chandra Chatterjee from his grave after 150 years or more than 100 years. Anyhow, it was going on. The debate has been completed in the parliament also, and it has become our anthem. Today being the first day of the Dhanurmasa, I thought it would be better we discuss for a few minutes what is the importance of this Dhanurmasa and who is Andal. Andal is one among the 12 Pannidar Alvar, 12 Alvars of the Vaishnava culture. Today is the start of Dhanurmasa, and it will be ending by 14th of January, Sankranti. And it is a sacred for the Vaishnavists. It is the story of Andal. She is one of the 12 Alvars. She has no birth. That is like Ayonija, like Sita Mahadevi. She was seen by Vishnu Chitta, that is the name of the Vishnu Chitta. He was staying at Vilubuttur in Tamil Nadu. This girl was found in Tulsivana. She was born and brought up by the saintly person Vishnu Chitta. He was the person who daily worshipped Lord Ranganatha of Sri Ranga. He daily presented garlands to the Lord with great devotion and dedication. This is more important. Normally, we perform the puja automatically and we don't observe this devotion. But whereas in the case of Vishnu Chitta, he was a very devoted and scholarly person. Sri Krishna Devaraya, in his Amukta Malyada, it's a very famous book in Telugu, it is an epic. There he mentions about Vishnu Chitta in one poem. It is a very famous poem, and I memorized that because I was attracted by the diction of that poem. He says, this gentleman Vishnu Chitta is a very, very, very scholarly person. Andundun, Andu, please, in Vilubuttur, he stays, Andundun Vayasadma Padma Vadanundu, Ashranta Yogandu Vadhamatu Dvishadviratudu, Anvardhabidanundu, Uruchando Brunda Tatantavaga Patana Sanjata, Tajanya Nishpandadvaita Susamvidalayu, Nishtan Vishnu Chittundanam. This is the very famous poem, and he says he's a very scholarly person. And in his house, every day, all the 24 hours, the food is served for the Abhyagatas and Atidis. And he says, Nastishaka Bahuta, Nasyushnata, Nastya Pupo, Nastyodana Saushtavancha, Krupaya Bhaktaviyaman Matalun, Anishthaniti, Gehasima, Nadure Yalinchinan. Even at the midnight, people are served with a sumptuous food. And the gentleman, Vishnu Chitta, requests them, Nasti Shaka Bahuta. There are no vegetables, sufficient vegetables like that. So this Vishnu Chitta, God gave him a big task to establish Vaishnavism in the kingdom of Pandya Raja. So he was sent on a deputation. But this gentleman was very reluctant. And he said, I'm a very, very, very ordinary person. And I doesn't know the sculptures or the scriptures. But how do you send me there? But the God sent him. And under the supervision of the Lord Ranganatha, Vishnu Chitta won this debate. And he was able to establish Vaishnavism as one of the prominent religions. Then God prompted him to go and participate in the debate. And with the blessings of Lord Ranganatha, he was able to win the honor given by this Pandya Raja. He returned back and he continued to supply the garlands to the Lord Ranganatha of Srirangam. And one fine morning, he noticed a long hair of a lady in the garland to be presented to the god during the Archana time. He suspected. He returned back home and questioned his daughter Andal, and popularly known as Goda Devi. She accepted that daily she wore these garlands out of reverence. That night, Vishnu Chitta was very much worried, but in his dream, Lord Ranganatha appeared and suggested that he liked her wearing the garland before it is presented to him. This is the turning point of the entire story. Finally, the love of Andal towards Ranganatha materialized, and she is the author of Tirupavai. And there are 30 kirtanas. For the entire month, every day one Tirupavai kirtana is rendered by these devotees. In Tirumala also, during the Brahmotsavas, from December 16 to January 14, Tirupavai is recited in place of Suprabhatam. Normally we listen Suprabhatam, Kausalya Supraja Rama, Purva Sanchya Pravartate, Uttishta Narashardula, Kartavyam Daivamanhikam. These are the words told by Vishwamitra to arise Lord Rama. This is the Sanctum Sanctorium Ananda Nilayam, where this Kirtana and Shloka are rendered during the Suprabhata. But during this Dhanurmasa, it is replaced by this Tirupavai. It is a rare honor to Andal. Surprisingly, from one house, there are two Alvars among the 12. One is Vishnu Chitta, he is known as Periya Alvar, and this lady is known as Andal. And the Krishna Raya has presented the love story of Goda Devi and Ranganatha in a very big way, and everyone should read that book, Amukta Malyada. Recently, some translations of Amukta Malyada have also come. Now I will come back to our regular story of Ramayana, the first lesson which I have to discuss with you. I don't treat it as a lecture. We will discuss. All of you are very well-known and scholarly person, and there is no need for me to tell the entire story. So I have chosen some of the aspects of Ramayana. As I told you earlier also, I have written a Sangraha Valmiki Ramayana. I have written another book called Antaranga Tarangam, the main theme and the main intentions of the personalities in Ramayana. And I have written another book called Raghava Pandaviyam, which is my magnum opus, I can call. It is one gentleman, one poet, Pingadi Sorana of 16th century. He has written a book called Raghava Pandaviyam. If you read this poem, if you read it first, it will come as a Ramayana story. If you read the again same poem, it will come as Mahabharata story. It is a very tremendous task, and he was able to do it, and it is known as Dvardi Kavya. Anyhow, coming back to our Ramayana discourse, I have found there are some trinities in the entire Ramayana. Those who are pen and paper with them, they can just note down the 7 trinities in Ramayana. Can I start my notes? Hello. Then, yeah, please go on. Please go on. There are 3 people combined at one place anytime. First of all, it is Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita at the time of exile. Then the main theme is diverted or is continued by 3 people. One is Vishwamitra at the beginning in Balakanda, then Lakshmana in Aranyakanda, and then Hanuman in Kishkinda Kanda. I will repeat again. The first trinity is Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita. The second trinity, Vishwamitra, Lakshmana, and Hanuman. They changed the entire narration of the story and the entire history of the story also. Vishwamitra was able to get Rama married, and Lakshmana was able to serve his brother, and Hanuman was able to find the identity of Sita at Lanka. Then the third one is the wives of Dasharatha, 3 wives, Kausalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi. Then in the Kishkinda Kanda, there is another trinity, Ram, Lakshman, and Hanuman. Sita was not there by the time in Kishkinda Kanda. She has been abducted by Ravana. Then there are 3 more women who are known as Mahakanyas. They are Ahalya, Tara, Mandodari. There is a shloka also, Panchakanyas Marin Nicham, Mahapataka Asanam. So these 3 had very prominent roles in the entire Ramayana. Ahalya, Tara, Mandodari. Then comes 3 more gentlemen. One is Bharata, who is the personification of brotherhood and devotion. Then Sugriva, who is known for his friendship. And then Vibhishana, who is known for his very, very cultured manners. Even he has deserted his brother Ravana. So this is one trinity, Bharata, Sugriva, and Vibhishana. And 3 of them have 3 brothers, and their own identity is different. And their way of dealing with other people is also different. Bharata was very venerous towards reverence towards Rama. Sugriva and Vali, they had an interaction and a tough fight. And he was able to kill Vali also. And Vibhishana, he was a very introductory person. And when he introduced himself to Rama, he mentioned about his fear from Ravana, and he deserted him and he joined Rama. And the entire Yuddha Kanda is thrown through Vibhishana. Then there are 3 more ladies in the entire Ravana. This is the 7th trinity. Mandara, Shurpanakha, and Trijata. Each one of them was able to turn the story into a new era. Mandara, she was able to convince Kaikeyi to ask for the booms. And Shurpanakha, she was able to convince her brother to bring Sita and abduct her. And Trijata, this is the very, very, though she was a Rakshasi, she was able to hold on Sita Mahadevi, who was about to do the sacrifice or in the suicide. So these aspects we will discuss in another 1 hour. I will start with the entire story, how it happened, and how these important characters in Ramayana made the significant contribution to the advancement of the march of Rama. Rama's march is Ramayana. He started his journey from Ayodhya to Mithila in the Balakanda. Then he started to Kishkinda and finally to Lanka. These are the 3 places where he had his own historical importance. From Ayodhya, he went to Mithila and got married. From Mithila and back to Ayodhya, he went to Kishkinda, and there he was able to get the help of all these Vanaras. And finally, it was in Lanka, the entire battle was conducted. Then, when we discuss about the first trinity, Vishwamitra, Lakshmana and Hanuman, each one of them has a very big role in the entire Ramayana. It was Vishwamitra who discovered the potential divinity in Rama, because till the arrival of Vishwamitra to the court of Dasharatha, we do not know the background of Sri Ramachandra, and he was a very younger boy, less than 16 years. That's why even Dasharatha said, Una Shodasha Varsho Me Ramo Rajivalochanaha. My son is less than 16 years old. How can he come and help you, Vishwamitra? I will come with my force and I will be able to judge the entire sacrifice which you are going to do. So let us discuss how it happened. He introduced Rama to the world outside for the betterment of this humanity, because he is an avatar Purusha. Though he was once a rival for Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, and Vasishtha, they had a very big tough task, and they didn't see eye to eye each one. In his spiritual growth, Vasishtha is a better man. He managed to convince Dasharatha about the public interest in sending Rama with him, mainly with the goodwill and saintly counsel of the sage Vasishtha. Because Vishwamitra requested Dasharatha that he had a problem in continuing the yaga, and Maricha Subahus are obstructing and creating a lot of problems to him. He requested only Rama to come along with him, accompany him, and perform the protection. But Dasharatha has sent both Lakshmana also, and the story we know. Though he commissioned, that is, Vishwamitra commissioned the service of Rama just for 10 nights. He just requested Vishwamitra to send Rama along with him for just 10 nights. For what? To protect the yajna from the militant Rakshasas, Maricha and Subahu, and he extended his journey for a fortnight. After 10 days, he did not send back Rama and Lakshmana, or he bring them back and give it to Dasharatha. He extended their journey for another 5 days and united Rama with Janaki. Superficially, it appears that all the events occurred up to this point on the way, beginning from the killing of Tataka. It was the first instance when Rama has thrown his arrow against a lady. There is a lot of controversy in the entire Ramayana saying that why and how he should kill a lady. But Vishwamitra said, though she is a lady, she is a very venomous lady, you should kill her first. She is the mother of both Maricha and Subahu, who are creating problems to Vishwamitra in performing his yajna. And then the auspicious wedding ceremony of the 4 princes of Ayodhya with the matchless princess of Mithila happened at random, because it was destined. Vishwamitra particularly he knows that Rama is an Avatara Purusha and Rama and Sita are to be united, and it is in Mithila it happened with the Shivadhanurbhanga. Shivadhanurbhanga is a very big story by itself, and every one of us knew about the entire story. But one clearly see a divine hand in all these movements, envisaged and executed by the sage Vishwamitra, who was penance personified. He is a Brahmarshi. He did penance for years together, for centuries together, and finally he was able to, from Rajarshi, he became the Brahmarshi. The story of Menaka also we know. The story and the birth of Shakuntala we know. Entire things happened in the lifespan of Vishwamitra. So he was responsible to show to the entire world that Rama is an Avatara Purusha. And even the story of Ahalya was well conceived in advance. even well advanced. This happened, the well conceived in advance, as evident from the conversation between Shatananda and Vishwamitra in Mithila. The orientation Vishwamitra gives to Rama about the social, cultural, and spiritual background he needs to handle the task and is so well planned and programmed that Rama returns to Ayodhya well equipped for his future adventurous life in Dandaka and Lanka. The other part of the story is Rama is not in Ayodhya. He has gone to Dandakaranya, and the entire story was there for about 12 years. And then he moved on to Lanka. And finally, after completing the 14 years tenure, he came back. This is the story. Then there are two subtle points which deserve the attention of the students of Valmiki. Because all of us, we read several times Valmiki Ramayana. The first one is, though Vishwamitra wanted only Rama to accompany him for the job assigned to him, his younger brother Lakshmana also accompanied him at the instance of his father Dasharatha. They are almost inseparable twins, Rama and Lakshmana, though they are not twins, but they are like twins. The twins like Bharata and Shatrughna, they were also, one Bharata was serving Rama and Shatrughna was serving Lakshmana. These twins, they appear to be very, very devotional brothers. The Vishwamitra accepts the addition with pleasure and silence because he did not object. Why Lakshmana should come? I asked only Rama, and why should both of them come? He simply accepted the verdict of Dasharatha Maharaja. And the second thing is, he leaves for his abode immediately after Rama's marriage with Sita. This is the final touch of this Ramayana. We did not see Vishwamitra after the marriage of Sita and Rama. He went back to his abode, and there is no mention about Vishwamitra in the entire Ramayana. He comes in the Balakanda, and the entire episode is over after the marriage is over. Even he did not return up to Ayodhya and hand over Rama Lakshmana to Dasharatha Maharaja. The marriage is performed. Dasharatha was invited by Mithila Nagara Chakravarti Janaka Maharaja. The finest part of Rama is when he won the Shivadanur and the marriage is to be performed. Janaka requested Rama to perform the marriage. But Rama, in his own way, he mentioned that my father should accept this marriage and then only I will get married. So people were sent to Dasharatha Maharaja, and Dasharatha Maharaja came back to Mithila and the marriage was performed. Here we have to see, though the marriage is mentioned between Sita and Rama, the other suggestion made by Vishwamitra regarding Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, and all the other three ladies getting married is another story. This was the suggestion made by Vishwamitra, and Janaka Maharaja has immediately accepted it. And both Mandavi and Srutakirti were also married along with Urmila. So 4 brothers getting married at the same time in the same platform is also another important thing. Thus, a team of 3 is always maintained. That is, in the marriage of onward journey and the return journey. It was a trio. Who were these people? Vishwamitra, Rama and Lakshmana. They started from Ayodhya. They went up to the hermitage of Vishwamitra and the yaga was performed. And then all the 3 moved towards Mithila Nagara. Then another trio, that is Sita, Rama and Lakshmana, they returned to Ayodhya. Vishwamitra did not accompany them. This trinity is maintained throughout the march of Rama, which Valmiki calls Rama's Ayana, Ramayana. Until the final battle is won, Sita is reunited All the three were there. Then this grouping of three was described by Valmiki, and Vishwamitra followed by these two princes as Brahma accompanied by the twin gods Ashwini Kumaras. This is the word uttered by Valmiki in his poem, Valmiki Ramayana in Balakanda. He says, the two boys, Rama and Lakshmana, accompanying Vishwamitra, was like Brahma accompanied by the twin gods Ashwini Kumaras. Ashwini Devatas are very, very, very famous, and it is like a pair of three-headed serpents. So these three people, Vishwamitra, Rama and Lakshmana, they appeared like three-headed Adiseshu. Then the story moves on to Mithila. On the way to Mithila, Rama comes across these three different types of women. The first one was Tataka, the personification of Tamasa. Tamasa yoga or Tamasa type of sentiment is destroyed. So Tataka was killed. The second one was Ahalya. She was clouded by Rajasa and is restored and rehabilitated. And finally, Sita, the embodiment of grace, grandeur, and poised piety, is won and adored. There are three people. One is Trijata, another is Ahalya, another is Sita. This is also another trinity, and one is known for Tamasa, Rajasa, and Shantasa. These three queens of Dasharatha. Then we come to Ayodhya, where three queens are there. These three queens of Dasharatha also represent a trinity. Valmiki designates them as Hari, Shri, and Kirti. This is the definition given to all the three. Please note down. Hari, Shri, Kirti. Kausalya, Sumitra, Kaikeyi. Kausalya is the most modest of the three and is compared to the mystic syllable Hari. Just note down. Kausalya is compared with Hari. And Sumitra, an angel in all respects, is Shri in symbolic form. So Kausalya is Hari, Sumitra is Shri, and Kaikeyi is Kirti. So, soft and short in articulation, Sumitra, tender and pure at heart, selfless and considerate in action, and an ardent admirer of all that is good, that is Sumitra. Sumitra is the linking force among the three queens. We have separate identities and separate qualities of all the three queens. And she is a link between both Kausalya and Kaikeyi. And she places her two sons, Lakshmana and Shatrughna, entirely and exclusively at the disposal of Rama and Bharata. Lakshmana served Rama, Shatrughna served Bharata, and both of them are the twins of Sumitra. She doesn't say a single word against Kaikeyi, whom even sage like Vasishtha rebukes in public. When Dasharatha was about to swoon, Vasishtha was very harsh. Normally, he is a very sage person and saintly person, but he did not control his emotions and he rebuked Kaikeyi. But Sumitra did not utter a word against Kaikeyi. And Sumitra sends her son Lakshmana to the forest along with Rama and Sita with heartfelt blessings. She says highly significant words and idioms. This is a very famous shloka. You please note down if you want to note down. These are the words of Sumitra when Lakshmana requested the grace of his mother, Sumitra. Sumitra told these words to Lakshmana regarding the future of Lakshmana and how to he take the entire presence of both Rama and Sita. Please note down this shloka. Ramam Dasharadam Vidhi. Ramam Dasharadam Vidhi. Second line. Maham Vidhi. Janakatmajam. Maham Vidhi Janakatmajam. Third line. Ayodhyam Atavim Vidhi. Ayodhyam Atavim Vidhi. Fourth line. Gachatata Yadha Sukham. I will repeat the shloka again. Ramam Dasharadam Vidhi. Ramam Dasharadam Vidhi. Mam Vidhi Janakatmajam. Ayodhyamatapim Vidhi. Gachatata Yudha Sukham. I will repeat again. Ramam Dasharadam Vidhi. Maham Vidhi Janakatmajam. Ayodhyamatapim Vidhi. Gachatata Yudha Sukham. What is the meaning of it? Dear Lakshmana, treat Rama as your father Dasharatha. The first sentence. Ramam Dasharadam Vidhi. You treat Rama as your own father. And then Janaki as myself. Here in these words, some of them interpolate these words saying that Mam Vidhi Janakatmajam. Ma means this Lakshmi Devi. You treat Sita Devi as Lakshmi Devi. And another parable is Ma means you treat her like me. But the inner meaning is Sita is Lakshmi Devi. Then the entire forest is like Ayodhya to you. Be happy wherever you go. Here Tata means my dear son. So the identification of Sumitra with Sita as her own self is what makes her a sacred symbol of all sophistication that the world can think of. When you compare all these three queens, the behavior, the patronage, and the thinking line of all the three is very, very different. Particularly in the case of Kausalya, when we observe her, she was very patient and she is like any other mother. She was about to swoon when Rama said that he is going to forest. She was very much perturbed. She puts so many restrictions on Rama. She says, you accept my word. When you are accepting your father's word, you accept my mother's word also, because I am telling you that you need not go. Because without you, I can't live. Without you, I can't perform my duties to my husband also. So you continue to be in Ayodhya. Let Bharata take his own throne, but you be here. Why should you go? These are the words of Kausalya, and she was like any other mother. But in the case of Sumitra, she did not argue. She did not restrict the movement of either Rama or Lakshmana. And Lakshmana said, when I am able to go and I will be joining Sri Ramachandra, she said these words. She was a very, very sophisticated lady in the entire world. That is why Valmiki depicts both Sita and Sumitra as Shri in secular form. There are Shri, Hri, Shri, and Kirti. The third one in the Trinity is Kaikeyi. She is designated by Valmiki as Kirti. What is Kirti? Name and fame. Nowadays, we see so many Swamijis and so many people who are more religious, but they want name and fame, and they want some honors to be done to them, though they are known to be very famous religious personalities. The poet Valmiki seems to be saying, in other words, fame, thy name is woman. You just note down this word. Fame, thy name is woman. Your name is woman. Because women, they try to get the fame. It is significant to note that Valmiki does not use any Vedic symbol to denote Kaikeyi, as she refuses to understand anything beyond her acquired right to enjoy the life with all pomp, pleasure, and power and pride at her command. She is morely or mostly, she wants some pleasure, she wants comforts, she wants power, and she wants to command over entire world, including Dasharatha Maharaja. So then comes to a team of three forms again to welcome the forest life, discording family life, and the royal comforts with a spirit of duty, dedication, and detachment. These are the three important things which we have to note down when we think of Ramayana and Sri Ramachandra's behavior. One is duty, dedication, and detachment. He is Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha, that is duty-minded, duty. Then dedication towards the father, Pitrubhakti. Even Dasharatha did not say a single word that you should go to the exile. These were the words by Kaikeyi. Even then, he accepted it as the words of Dasharatha Maharaja. That detachment. On the previous night, he was told that he will be going to be the Yuvaraja. Next day morning, within 12 hours, the entire scene has changed, and he was about to leave for the forest. Then also, he has a detached mind. The demands of Kaikeyi did not, however, stipulate in the beginning that Sita and Lakshmana should also go for exile, because he wanted only Rama to go. But finally, this trinity has to go. So Lakshmana has personally, and he himself has mentioned that he should accompany Ramachandra. But in this aspect, Sita also mentioned that she should also follow Ramachandra. There was a big debate between Ramachandra and Sita Mahalakshmi. Ramachandra was not able to convince Sita. Sita at one point of time said, my father Janaka Maharaja thought that you are a hero, but now you are declaring yourself as a non-hero. That is the word Sita has uttered. And finally, Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita, they have proceeded to the forest. They willfully volunteered to leave for the forest. This Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana, they willfully volunteered to leave for the forest along with Rama to serve him and his noble cause. This is more important. What is the main theme of the entire Ramayana? Sri Rama had a noble cause. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. Rama was reluctant to take them, both Lakshmana and Sita, as he did not want to deprive them of their comforts, because they are eligible for the royal comforts. Sita was born to Janaka Maharaja or brought up by Janaka Maharaja. Lakshmana was the entire prince of Dasharatha Maharaja. They are allowed for the entire royal kingdoms. Then the man of Valmiki can never be all alone. There should be a trinity. Wherever Rama goes, there should be two more people. And he has to have a minimum team of three. And his brother Lakshmana was also a fixed factor, while the variable factors differed from occasion to occasion. Because Rama and Lakshmana, they are inseparable. The third person, it may vary. It may be Vishwamitra, or it may be Sugriva, or it may be Hanuman. At point of times, it changes. Then It was Vishwamitra in the beginning. And it was Sita at another point of time when he was returning from Mithila to Ayodhya. It is strange that Lakshmana has a precedence over Sita in this respect, though she secures her husband's permission to accompany him to the forest before Lakshmana could manage it. First of all, Lakshmana has come forward saying that I will accompany you to the forest. Then the turn of Sita comes, and she was able to convince Ramachandra to accompany him to the forest. Ultimately, all the three start their journey, but where to go? They have to go to the exile for 14 years. Regarding the precedence, both Sita and Lakshmana try to assert themselves, though Sita claims first and gets her request sanctioned before Lakshmana raises the topic. This is the entire story of Ramayana. We have to observe in a detailed manner. Lakshmana is very shrewd. He keeps himself constantly in touch with Rama ever since he goes to see Kaikeyi and Dasharatha in response to a call from the royal palace. The next morning, when Rama was introduced by Sumantra to meet the Dasharatha Maharaja, Lakshmana also has accompanied him. He is present when Rama is trying to convince his mother Kausalya of the propriety in obeying the orders of his father. Because Kausalya has argued for a long time, saying that you need not go to forest. Your father might have told, or unwillingly he might have told, or with the pressure of somebody he has told, I want you to continue here in Ayodhya. You may not be the king or prince or whatever it is. Let Bharata enjoy the comforts of the prince. You should protect me. You should help me in my daily life. You should also see your father, the well-being. But Lakshmana, he was very, very shrewd. He slightly upset when Rama was not prepared to accept the advice of his mother to stay back. Ramachandra said, I have to obey my orders of the father. He goes even to the extent of suggesting a revolt. Lakshmana was about to revolt against the injustice done to the noblest son of a noble father. Because like any other shrewd person, Lakshmana tried to argue with Ramachandra, saying that, why should you go to forest? This is the bad eye or bad evil mind of Kaikeyi. So we should dethrone all these people and you should continue to be the king of Ayodhya Nagara. Then Rama keeps the balance undisturbed and argues in favor of truth, justice, family prestige, and human dignity, and ultimately receives his mother's blessings. There are 3 points here which we have to note down. He is undisturbed. He tries to convince Lakshmana also. He tries to convince Kausalya Devi. He tried to convince Sita Devi. And he wanted to go for the justice. And he wanted to continue the family's prestige and the human dignity. And he was able to convince Kausalya's blessings also. In the course of the heated argument, Rama tells Lakshmana at a particular point, these words also very important. Please note down this shloka. These are the words of Rama to Lakshmana. Dharmamashraya, dharmamashraya, ma taikshnyam, ma taikshnyam, madbuddhiranugamyata, madbuddhiranugamyata. I will repeat. dharmamashraya ma taikshnyam madbuddhir anugamyata. This shloka is in Ayodhya Kanda, 21st canto, 44th shloka, 2:21:44. What is the meaning of it? Lakshmana, stick to the stand of righteousness, dharma. Don't take a drastic step. Follow my line of thinking. This is the final statement made by Rama to Lakshmana. He says, why do you get perturbed? You follow my line of thinking. And finally, Lakshmana also was convinced. Lakshmana not only follows Rama's line of thinking, but deriving strength from his words, he follows him physically in accordance with his line of thinking. That is why he tells Rama, when he persuaded to stay back, that he had already been permitted to follow him, and therefore the matter needs no further consideration. This debate is very famous debate. The dialogues between Rama and Lakshmana. Lakshmana says, you have already agreed for my accompaniment to you, and now why should you object to it? Similarly, both Sita and Lakshmana offer their lead in the march of Rama so as to serve him and guard him against any possible obstacles. The main intention of both Sita and Lakshmana are that they should preserve, protect Rama from all the obstacles in Ayodhya to exile. So the entire exile period, they were able to protect Ramachandra. These are the main intentions. The only difference is that Sita says in a categorical term that she will be ahead of him to clear his way from thorns and grass, while Lakshmana says in all humility that he will follow the couple standing ahead with the bow in his hand. So the first one is Lakshmana with his bow, protecting them from all the demons or whatever it is. And Sita to protect Rama from these obstacles. Then Valmiki is very careful in using the language appropriate for both, because the harsh words of Lakshmana and the subtle words of Sita are mentioned in Ramayana, particularly in Ayodhya Kanda. And finally, when Sumantra brings the chariot for the Trinity to board, Sita boards first, taking with her all the necessary tools and weapons of the two princes, and also the precious clothes and ornaments presented by Dasharatha in the last minute as a parting gift. This is the situation how it happened. Dasharatha was in his consciousness when Rama and Sita were about to leave for the forest. So then he ordered that Sita and particularly the queen of entire Ramachandra's family, Sita Devi, should be given the appropriate and proprietary clothes also and the ornaments also for the entire period of 14 years. So they were first taken into the chariot. Sumantra was the charioteer, and Sita takes her seat in the chariot first. The two princes also get in later. So here also this is a trinity, Sita, Rama, Lakshmana. This memorable event, which takes the three principal characters in the Ramayana, Sita, Rama and Lakshmana, away from Ayodhya, is described by Valmiki with a deep insight into the significance of each and every moment, expression, and emotional background that build up an atmosphere which makes a mark in the history of mankind. Because when we visualize, you might have seen Ramayana of Mahabharata in Doordarshan earlier days, they used to preview it and show it in Sundays between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. And it was almost like a curfew in the entire city of Delhi or wherever it is. And it was Ramananda Sagar who built up the entire story. So if you visualize the scene where Sita is entering the chariot first, and then Lakshmana and Ramachandra moving on to the entire chariot. And they move on, and the people also of Ayodhya, they also accompanied them to a particular point of time, that is Tamasa Nadi. This entire atmosphere is visualized, and we get a thrill of it. When the three members of the royal family start from Ayodhya, the whole city of Ayodhya tries to follow them. Lakhs of people, they followed the chariot. Most of the citizens spent the first night of that day with them on the bank of the river Tamasa. Now with the Ayodhya, with Modi's government making it a very famous historical place, Tamasa Nadi is a river, is also important for the entire story. Rama somehow manages to leave behind the citizens and proceed further. When they were fast asleep, Rama instructed Sumantra to leave that place, and he went a far away place. Then, after crossing the river Ganga, Sumantra also returns to Ayodhya most reluctantly. This person is a very saintly person, Sumantra also. He was one of the ministers of Dasharatha Maharaja, and he was a person who was advising the king also in case of necessity. Now, the Trinity is left alone, only Sita, Rama and Lakshmana. It was not just matter of coincidence that Lakshmana accompanied Rama to the forest, because people may think that it is only a story and we are in the part of the story. But Lakshmana was destined to give company to Rama. His mother Sumitra says, in saintly language, that he was born for the forest life. Srishtatvam vanavasasya. You just note down. Sumitra says, my dear son Lakshmana, you were born to be in forest. Srishtatvam vanavasasya. How she has mentioned this? Because she is a saintly person. She knows the future and the present also. Things would have no doubt been different had Bharata been in Ayodhya on that day when the coronation ceremony was proposed. This is a debatable point. Most of the people, they criticize Dasharatha's decision in making the Pattabhisheka on the next day itself, without consulting anybody, without consulting any Purohit or even Vasishtha Maharshi. He himself has decided that tomorrow is the ceremony of Ramachandra. And Bharata is not there. He is already with their uncle's place. And how it happened, whether he had any doubt that Bharata will object or he may come in the way of making these arrangements, we do not know, but things have happened. And how they have happened, they were part of the entire story, and it was the people who criticized Dasharatha Maharaja for taking this drastic decision. And then Kaikeyi too was equally keen that Rama should leave Ayodhya before Bharata's return. This is another story. Dasharatha wanted the kingdom being presented to Rama in the absence of Bharata, but Kaikeyi was very vehemently arguing that Rama should leave before Bharata comes back and takes over the throne. Then it is therefore the divine hand, again which Valmiki calls in his favorite expression, Yadruchaya. The things happened as it happened. Things that happen on their own come under this category. It is not a destiny that has taken into force. They happen as it is. Then Bharata returned back. He repeatedly expressed his desire to welcome the forest life and spent the stipulated period in the forest on behalf of Rama. This is also when they were staying in Chitrakoota. Bharata, along with his entire force, he went to Ramachandra to convince him to return back, but he was not able to convince Rama. Finally, the sandals were given, and he returned with the sandals, and they were made the crown, and they were kept in the throne, and the entire period of 14 years was observed as Paduka Pattabhisheka. So he wanted to be in the forest instead of Rama, and the father's decision also is observed. He tries his best to persuade Rama to come back to Ayodhya and accept the kingdom. But Rama, whose strength lies in his truth, does not reconcile himself with the change in the circumstances, and only tries to convince Bharata that their father's dedication to truth is most important factor for consideration by all these sons. He says, I am the eldest son. All three of you also have to obey the father's order. The father's orders are that I should come to the exile. Ultimately, Bharata had to return to Ayodhya, satisfying himself with the sandals granted by Rama as his representatives till he returns back to Ayodhya. He has put a condition also. After the 14th year, even after a few hours or one day, I will not accept if you are not returning to Ayodhya. I will emulate myself. These are the words of Bharata. He had put a stroke in that. Thus Rama, Sita and Lakshmana decide to spend the full period of 14 years in the forest. This is the intention of Kaikeyi, and finally Rama has accepted it. During this period, Sita and Lakshmana were not just keeping company for Rama, but they had a significant role to play in all the major events that took place. If we go through the entire story of Ramayana, the importance of Lakshmana, the importance of Sita, and the changeover of the events happened because of them. Then Lakshmana was a great architect, and it was he who built the hermitage of Chitrakoota and then Panchavati also. He was an architect. He was able to build the entire hermitages in a different manner. He used to bring fruits and water for the couple and also spent sleepless nights guarding them. Here in the case of Ayodhya, Urmila also, she was in a deep sleep for all the 14 years. Urmila Devi Nidra is a famous story in Janapada, and Urmila Devi Nidra is recited by all the women, praising her greatness. And finally, Sita used to keep Rama in good humor and occasionally tender proper advice to him. This is the way how the character of Sita was built. When Rama gave a promise to all the rishis that he will protect them, after a few minutes, Sita questioned Rama, why should you take this decision? You are not the ruler. You have not come to protect the rishis. And why should you say that I will protect all of them? This is not the proper way to behave. Rama accepted the advice, but tried to convince Sita that as his duty and as the agent of Bharata Maharshi, Bharata, he has to protect the sages of this forest also. Then Rama always appreciated the services rendered by Sita and Lakshmana. At times, Lakshmana also gave advice, and Sita was able to tell her husband the proprieteness of things which he has to do. Like Rama, Lakshmana, Lakshmana was also a man with a good sense of humor. He joined Rama in the fun they had with Surpanaka, though they had to pay heavily for it. This is another incident where people criticize the behavior of Sri Ramachandra. Why should he encourage Surpanaka, or why should he treat her with all his humor? And finally, it has turned the entire story. When Rama was fighting a fierce battle with 14,000 Dandakaranya Rakshasas, Janasthana, Lakshmana was asked to look after Sita's safety, and he did it with vigilant dedication. And Lakshmana was very shrewd. He told Rama very clearly that there can't be a golden deer on earth, and it was Maricha who was trying to cheat them. The critics of Ramachandra say that though he knew that this is Marichi and he is in the form of a deer, why should he go? And how the entire story has changed into a different way. He also identified the voice of Maricha, Lakshmana, who was imitating Rama to divert to Lakshmana from Sita. But neither Rama nor Sita listened to Lakshmana as they were driven by fate. First, Ramachandra was advised by Lakshmana not to go. Then he advised Sita that he should not leave her. But finally, he has accepted the advice of both. The greatest virtue in Lakshmana was that he was always straightforward, fearless, sincere, though slightly impulsive at times. Sometimes, though, he was impulsive towards some events. But he never insisted that his word should be taken as the final one. This is the greatness of Lakshmana. He is the personification of Adisheshu. Mahavishnu was Sri Ramachandra and Adisheshu was Lakshmana. When Sita insisted that Lakshmana should follow her orders, he did it most reluctantly, leaving the result to destiny. Then coming to the kidnap of Sita, after Sita was kidnapped by Ravana, the only person who consoled Rama was physically, mentally, morally, and spiritually, it was Lakshmana. When Rama loses temper and tries to destroy the innocent mountains, indifferent rivers, and irresponsible vegetation, on getting no reply from them regarding the whereabouts of Sita, Rama, like any other person, Rama, though he was a Vigrahavan Dharmaha, Atmanam Manusham Manye Ramam Dasharathatmajam. Always he said, I am the son of Dasharatha, I am not an Avatara Purusha. And Lakshmana tries to fill the vacuum created in the heart of Rama due to Sita's sudden disappearance. So now we will come to the third phase. The march of Rama starts from Kishkinda with Hanuman and Lakshmana. Because Sita is not there, the trinity is to be filled. It was filled by Hanuman. The Pampa serves as a link between Dandaka and Kishkinda and reminds Rama again and again of the sweeter expression of the sweetheart. He was always thinking of Sita because he could not control his emotions also. He shows to Lakshmana also in a highly sensitive and emotional way, and the Rishyamukha Parvata also. Here comes another trinity, that is Hanuman. Hanuman was able to make the friendship of Sugriva and Rama in a very big way. And Hanuman intervenes when Tara sticks to her decision to follow her husband to the other world, because Vali was killed at the instance of Sugriva. And finally, the entire story we come across in a different way. I have extended my speech. We will leave another 10 minutes for the question answer session, if at all.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for a very nice presentation through a unique concept of these trinities. So I request these participants to raise questions. Anybody?
నమస్కారం ప్రభు గారు.
నమస్కారం అండి.
సార్ నాకు క్వశ్చన్స్ ఏం లేవు కానీ ఈరోజు సెషన్ చాలా బాగుంది సార్. మంచిగా ఒక డిఫరెంట్ వేలో రామాయణం అంటే లైక్ మనం ఎప్పుడు చదివిన దానిలా కాకుండా మీరు ఏ వేలో ఎక్కడెక్కడ త్రీ పర్సన్స్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ అలా చెప్పారు. అది క్లియర్ గా ఉంది సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఎవరమ్మా మాట్లాడేది?
శిరీష.
శిరీష సార్.
మీరు కనపడటంలే, వినపడుతున్నారు.
వీడియో ఆన్ లో లేదు సార్.
పర్లేదమ్మా, పర్లేదు. చెప్పండి.
అంటే అదే సార్, ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పిన లెక్చర్ చాలా బాగుంది సార్ అని చెప్తున్నా. అంటే లైక్ రామాయణం చదివిన దానిలా కాకుండా మీరు ఇంకా ఒక్కొక్క స్టేజ్ లో ఏ 3% ఇంపార్టెంట్ అట్లా చెప్పింది మంచిగా ఉంది క్లియర్ గా. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్ అని.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Okay. Next, please.
I think tomorrow also we have a question answer session. They can ask tomorrow also. No problem. You can note down your questions, and after that, tomorrow also you can raise the questions.
Right, sir. I think no questions.
Can I ask one question, please?
Yeah, please.
So why does the Kamatagiri or Chitrakoot, that area becomes, why did he choose Chitrakoot as the Dandakarni to stay for about 11.5 years?
Because the sages told Rama that it is the best place to stay, and the entire demons, they are free from that area. So that is why, and the advice of Agastya Maharshi and others also, he wanted to continue there for 11.5 years. They continued there in Chitrakoota. It is also another historical place in the life of Rama, because he has left already the place where he was staying in Ayodhya. He was advised by Guha to continue to stay with him, but he did not accept it. And he went to express his gratitude to all the sages also. He met several sages, Sharabanga Maharshi and all these people. And finally, on the advice of these people, he has prepared a hermitage with the help of Lakshmana, and they stayed there. There is no particular aspect in staying back in Chitrakoota, but that is the place where he can safely stay there, and they served for more than 11.5 years.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And also, does Mandakini as a river has any specific importance? Because
Yeah. The name itself is Chitrakoota.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mandakini is asking. Mandakini.
No, the Mandakini river, as Mandakini, apart from being through Chitrakoot and that time, it doesn't have any other significance. But does Mandakini as the river have any other importance in Sanatana?
Yes, sir.
He is asking a question, sir. Can we repeat that question? Do you hear us, sir?
Yeah, sir.
What is it?
I was asking the Mandakini river that flows through Chitrakoot. Does that have any other significance apart for this period of time? Because though river Mandakini has the name of Mandakini, does it have any other significance?
Nothing. It is one of the tributaries of Ganga.
Ganga.
And they were staying in the presence of, instead of Tamasa, it is Mandakini. Ayodhya is nearer to Tamasa Nadi, And these people, they have chosen Mandakini for their Chitrakoota hermitage.
And how does Tamasa, because Tamasa now there is no river there, but Sarayu is the river which goes through Ayodhya now.
Yeah.
Ghaggar,
Sorry, presently.
Ghaggar, yeah,
Earlier days, it may be in Treta Yuga, but presently it is Sarayu.
and Ghaggar, both.
Yeah. And now they have beautified the entire area, Sarayu and Ayodhya. It is worth to see Ayodhya now.
Yeah. We worked on the development of the ghat there, all the
Yes.
Saturnic ghat,
Yeah.
Ram ghat and all. There are 13 ghats there.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sujit.
Shall we break for Prarthana?
Yes, please.
Somebody,
Okay.
Padmanabha wants to ask a question.
Namaskaram. This is Suresh Jayanti. I'm Padma's husband. Namaskaram, Guruji. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. A question for you on the Parnashala that is famed near Bhadrachalam. What is the significance of that? Now, Chitrakoot is where you mentioned they spend most of the time. Well, is there any historical evidence that they also were in the area around Bhadrachalam?
Yeah. There is a controversy regarding this place because people believe that this is the place where Sita and Rama spent their exile. But in the historical background and the geographical background, it may not coincide. But they have crossed Dandakaranya. Dandakaranya is Chhattisgarh, and Chhattisgarh is very near to Bhadrachalam also. So we have to interpret the historical and geographical balance also. And people of geographical importance, they say Chitrakoota and this place is different from the place where Bhadrachalam is located. But in Bhadrachalam, they have shown us that here Sita has purified her clothes, and all these things are there. These are the historical and religious matters which we may not be able to convince the religious-minded people.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Jayant Suresh.
Sir, we shall break for prayer.
Yes, please.
Madam, Sastivachika Shlokas, please.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षन्तु पर्जन्य पृथ्वी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्रा पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधना सदना सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम् सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्याया आन्मा प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु। स्वस्ति।
Swasti. Thank you, Madam Shankariji. Now we'll rise for the national anthem. जनगणमनाधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा। जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे। जय हिंद।
Jai Hind. Okay. You may stop the recording now. Anybody wants to say anything?